The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off. That is manscaped.com.
And of course,
You just wanted to talk about their meat, Chris.
Well, that was half of it, but the other half was I love sitting through all these demonstrations, just blue balling these people, because that's what they deserve. They deserve coming out to my house, doing a PowerPoint demonstration on sausage links, and then getting blue balled. I'm actually an active. Still to this day. This was 6 years ago. I'm an active subscriber to Hillshire Farms, best in meat products. The friend that sold to me is now in jail, but the subscription keeps coming, so the business is alive and well. Great meat.
Too bad I'm not doing Scott summaries tonight because you've been blue balling Nick for weeks. And
I don't think
I'll just talk about. I didn't realize there was a pyramid scheme for sausage. Now I'm like, crap. Why am I not in this? Or why is it not in me?
I have a plug, Nick.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. Now, if you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, all of our links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, you can join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits, and watch us record all of these things live. If you're not a member yet, you can check us out. We stream sporadically, mostly on Wednesday nights at twitch.tv/NNF podcast. We stream all of After Dark and some of this episode as well, so you definitely want to check that out. While you're on our website, check out our really sweet merchandise. Also, if you listen on Spotify and Apple, please give us a review, a 5-star rating. We love that stuff, and it really, really helps us out. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, my amazing co-host. You know her as everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Sitting in for Mary, our emotional support gay Nick from Sandpiper Vacations.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. And the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris. I'm a real boy. Pinocchio.
That's actually what I screamed when I was hanging out with Nick this weekend. I think it's for Pinocchio, too.
We can't forget our producer, Alex.
Hey, how we doing?
All right. So, first of all, before I get to this huge announcement that I've been teasing on Twitch and with you guys, because you guys don't even know what I'm about to read you.
Oh, my gosh.
I would just want to say to everybody who watches us every week on Twitch, everybody who listens to us, everybody who watches us on Discord, our Clubhouse members, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. It makes mostly Wednesday nights extremely fun. We love interacting on the chat. There's just so much fun goes on in that chat. Probably better than the show. The chat it may be better than the show, I think. And
wow. It helps the show. Yeah,
it does help the show. I mean, I get most of my jokes from the chat. I don't write my own stuff.
Is that Sarah?
Yeah.
Chat's better than us, Sarah. Why do we even do this? Why shouldn't we just be on chat? Maybe we should just be the Scott show. We should just go to chat.
All right. So here we go. I have in my hand an email that I received today. And if you'd like to email us, nonewfriendspodcast@yahoo.com. All right. Hold on. Let me get my reading glasses on real quick.
And you just killed a tree for it because you printed it out.
I did. I printed it out because I had to show my wife.
That's better be good because I'm missing dinner.
Okay, this is from Jerica Schwartz. Okay,
what?
Jerica Schwartz. Sarah,
okay.
Maybe a relative. I don't know.
I was gonna say
one of them at least.
Here we go. Okay, this has been a long time. This has been a goal of mine when we started this podcast, and I'm super excited to read this. You ready? Best of Orlando votes are in. And I can confirm the No New Friends podcast has placed in the top 3 for best local podcast category.
What? Oh my goodness.
First of all, before we thank anybody, Scott, you really had to print that out? that was 6 words.
I
was like 6 words.
I didn't read the whole email. I mean,
He's gonna frame it.
Yeah, I am going to frame it. As a sales rep, I don't have the privilege of knowing who placed first, second, or third. That information is kept under lock and key until the big reveal on August 23rd. But one thing is clear. Out of all of Orlando, readers have voted you in the top 3, and that's kind of a big deal. Best of Orlando is our biggest, most read, and most anticipated issue of the year. It's 100% reader voted and packed full of the best of the city, including you. With categories and service, it just goes on about that episode or that issue. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
Well, there's really not any words I can, it doesn't feel real because half of the year, I have to listen to Scott ask for you to vote for us for Orlando Weekly. It's something that like I kind of tuned out because it was like it's like when you live close to an airport, you don't hear the airplanes fly over your house anymore. When Scott says vote for us for Best of Orlando, I kind of tune that out, so I forget about it.
I tuned it out too.
I cannot believe that we placed in the top. The top 3 was our goal.
Yeah. Yes. I know. It's a little bit surreal right now because the first year, all I wanted to do was get nominated. And we got nominated the first year. And we pushed that thing hard and didn't finish in the top 3.
That was huge. To be nominated was awesome.
Yep. And then we got nominated in the second year. And we didn't push it that hard last year. Like, I think I forgot about it sometimes. We didn't really post about it. And then this year, I don't think I pushed it any harder than last year. But, it's always been a goal to be in that top 3.
I mean, you did push it pretty hard if you made the top.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Well, I think we have more. Took
you a while to get that joke.
Yeah, I did. Stay tuned on After Dark when Nick tells us what the difference is between a top and a bottom.
But this is the early show.
Yeah, this is the early show.
Family friendly.
Well, I don't know about that. So, top 3 when the Best of Orlando issue comes out, they list the top 3. So it's just we get to be listed as a top 3, which is super exciting.
That's incredible.
I know. I'm so super excited. This wasn't what I was going to talk about tonight, but I was putting the audio together for this episode, literally saw this email and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe.
Do they have physical copies of Orlando Weekly, Scott?
Yes, they do.
I should be talking about this off air, but if you could pick me up a copy.
Yeah, I will.
Incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
This is just, this is nuts. I thank you seriously, everybody who voted for us. And if you didn't vote for us, then maybe next year. But
thanks to all the
thank
Ryans.
you for everybody. Thanks to all. I think the reason that we are nominated is because we know so many people named Ryan. We just had the whole Ryan army.
Yes. We need to join, because I know there's different groups for people with the same name, so we need to join a Ryan group and get all
I think that's our Patreon, actually. I think it's our Patreon. Patreon is the group for Ryan.
And if your name is not Ryan, or if your name is Ryan, you should join our Patreon because you can meet other less cool Ryans, except for Sophisticated Gentleman. He's my favorite Ryan.
And a special thank you to everybody in chat congratulating us. You're the reason why we do this every week, and you're probably the reason why we're nominated because you have to vote to be nominated. And not nominated, but won. We won. We won top 3. We won. This is a win for us. This is a huge win for us because Tom and Dan are going to be in the top 3. To be amongst them, the biggest voices in Florida. I wouldn't even say Orlando, right, Scott? In Florida.
I would say beyond Florida. I mean, they're huge. They're really big.
So to just be associated in the same breath as them, it's just awesome. It's really, really amazing. What an honor. And Scott, I know that this congratulations to you for someone who's been trying for this forever. For what seems like forever, we did it.
Right? It does seem like forever.
We did it. This is really cool, man.
What's really funny is I already don't like how long our intro is. And so every year when we have to do it, it's like, oh my gosh, just one more thing I have to add to the intro. And it's just, I like to just make content. I don't like to do a bunch of in episode ads. So, I dread it a little bit as well, but, it was worth it. And I guess there's not a party this year, which is unfortunate.
Really?
Yeah, there's not a party.
Thank goodness,
this year.
because I cannot afford a plane ticket.
Oh, I would have paid for you, or Rachel would have paid for you to come down.
I would have to
We'll pay
just
you in an
hitchhike.
Uber.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I love Uber. So, all right, we've got a little bit of time left in this segment. So, I've been holding on to this story for a little bit, but so do you guys get like random Facebook group invites at all?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All these
Occasionally.
people that starting their own business, but not serious businesses.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
like stickers or something like that.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of the cricket.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot
you know
of
what
the
I mean. Like
cricket
it's like
crafts,
not real business. Yeah,
Everybody's got their Tumblr business, and or I get a lot of. There you go. But why does it say Mrs.
I like that you have the
Young?
misses.
Oh yeah, I don't have any wine glasses in this house.
A lot of them are vacation planners. I get a lot of vacation planner invites.
Oh yeah, they're in
but
business for like 3 months.
Yeah, I like to scout out the competition for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to let you know.
They're mostly multi-level marketing companies that don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah,
Ponzi
exactly.
schemes,
And
yeah.
the travel agents, they're mostly booking like motels, not all inclusives or Disney. In fact, one of them,
They're not booking Idaho.
No, well, they probably are booking Idaho. In fact, one of them was advertising a cruise, but it was on that little ship of Cuban refugees that Chris was throwing water at when he was on his cruise. They were advertising for that boat.
Good times.
Sarah, do you join? Do you get a lot of invites and do you join them?
Yeah, but like what Chris was saying, I mean, it's everybody from high school that has kind of veered off, and they have a t-shirt business here, or they have a sticker business, or the tumblers all the time.
Yes.
But I don't
yeah,
I don't follow them because like I'm not on Facebook for that. I scroll through other people's lives, don't post anything, and then sign off. So I don't need to be a part of your group that's going to last a month. That sounds so insensitive, but it's so true.
No, it's true. It really is true.
So here's the deal for me, because we've got a New Friends podcast page, we've got a New Friends fan club group. I join all the groups. Because I get mad if people don't join. Like if I have to send you multiple invites, then don't send me an invite to join your arts and crafts group. But then I'm going to join it and take the high road. So
Wait, real quick. I got to cut you off because I wanted to bring up, because here's my invites for pages on Facebook. I feel bad because my
geez.
first one was someone from Sandpiper Vacations.
What? You're not even following me?
No. It was one of your concierge travel advisors.
Oh, okay.
I did
I'm
like their
you better
page. Yes. No, I definitely.
You better be following me, otherwise I'm canceling your cruise next week.
My doctor already did.
So I join all the groups. Because I want to take the high road, show you, look, I joined your group and all that. Well, I get this weird one a couple weeks ago. And anytime I'm joining, I didn't know the person. And so I looked to see how many followers there were on the group. And of course I already followed it. I'm the only one. The name of the group is called Adoption Connections. And immediately, Chris, my heart sinks. And I'm like,
What don't you know about?
right. Because
The pull and pray method not work.
right. And the age kind of works out for a time in my life when I was single. And I'm zooming in. I'm like, okay, does she have my nose? Those eyes do look rather familiar. I'm starting to do math. I'm like that Zach Galifianakis meme or whatever with all the algorithms going on behind me. That's me. I'm wondering, okay, what's going on? To this day, I still don't know. There's been no message. There's been no follow up. Just hey, join my Adoption Connections group. Is she trying to send me a message? Is she trying to connect with me? Her biological father that I don't know about. I don't know. Sarah, you've got kids. What? So should I message her like, hey, why did you ask me to follow? Why am I the only follower? What advice, guys? Please help.
So, who's this girl now?
I don't know.
Is she a friend of yours, or was it just like an automatic invite?
It was just a random invite. It said Adoption Connections.
No, see, that's one of the ones that you just don't accept.
I would accept it.
Yeah?
Listen,
Yeah, I would accept
it.
Yeah, because maybe you're entitled to child support or something. Like maybe it's something like,
But right.
maybe
Sarah,
you're gonna check out this.
Listen, someone sent me a group on Messenger one night. It was after we did After Dark. It was an upside down pineapple, and it was for Disney Swingers Club.
It's a really good group.
And I joined this group. Now I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm just joining this group. And she's like, that's fine. Just don't expect me to join the group as well. And, I was, trying to test the waters a little bit. Obviously, it was a no-go. So, I changed the conversation to it's content. It's for content. I need to join this group so that I could talk about it on the podcast. But I will join every group, Sarah. Every group.
No.
Disney Swingers.
See, you have to remember though, like I don't want to deal with people, and the people who send me these pages are people I know. And if I want to buy something from them, it would end up being like, oh, hey, it's been a while. Why don't I just meet you in person? No, I'm not interested in all that. I'm thinking 5 million steps ahead. So I just don't follow the page like it never existed.
I do it just for cross following. I'm trying to build a podcast here. I'm trying to be the best in Orlando.
I know, absolutely.
So I will join every group.
You got to get any followers that you can get with it.
Exactly. Nick, have you run into anything like this? Not Adoption Connections, but anything.
Not that one, because I feel like that would be targeted towards me. Like I accept them if it's something that like interests me. But like I got for a while so many invitations for somebody that was a Scentsy consultant. Oh. Everybody and their mother and their grandmother was a Scentsy
if you have
consultant.
A pulse, you could be a Scentsy consultant.
Yeah.
What is Scentsy?
So there's it's those like smell things that you can plug in. And Disney has like a partnership with them, so you can buy. It's a lamp that you light up, and there's melt like
it's Magic
melts,
Candle Company,
basically.
but worse.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so it's a giant pyramid scheme. But
okay.
It's like those, like the Pampered Chef people, like all those types of pages. I'm just like, no, that's too much.
Gotcha. You bring up a good point. We don't have time in this segment, but I want to bring up, I've been dying to talk about multi-level marketing on this podcast. So maybe we talk about that in the next segment. But before we end this segment.
Before we end the segment, I found something profound in my invites from a page.
Okay.
I never checked this because I'm not interested, but I was invited.
Let me guess, the No New Friends podcast fan group?
Yeah, no.
Because
so I
keep trying to tag you and I can't.
I accepted that 16 times. I have no idea what Mark Zuckerberg is trying to hide from me on that page, but he will not let me in. So I was invited. Doesn't say who I'm invited by. I wish it did, because I was invited to Defeating the Demonic, an extreme seminar exposing diabolical evil through the firsthand experience of real exorcists.
Ooh.
I couldn't even get through the whole bio before I hit accept, because I'm very, very interested in Defeating the Demonic.
I would accept that one too.
Just a bunch of priests in front of a smart board talking about, I guess this is Archbishop. Further updates will come from this for sure. They're still very
I did
active.
accept an invite once to the Illuminati. I was super excited. I was like, and this is like right after I saw Doctor Strange 2. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to meet Dr. X. I'm going to meet Mr. Fantastic. This is amazing. Not the same Illuminati. Not the same. A lot of conspiracies there. All right. So we've got a new segment that we're going to try out, and you guys don't know about this, but I tried a segment a couple weeks ago and it didn't work out, but we're going to hear again from our Lord and Savior, Lord Remy. And he has decided to bring us Word of the Day. So here we go. Take it away, Remy.
Greetings, my children, and welcome to the Word of the Day with our Lord and Savior, Remy. So, guys, I know you've been listening to, Remy's Roundtable for quite some time, and I gotta tell you guys, I cannot pronounce any word at all. It's a difficulty that I've had And yes, our Lord and Savior Remy is our holiness. He is the greatest. No, I am not. I am not the greatest, okay? I am sorry, but here is the word of today. The word of the day is nexus, okay? Nexus. Nexus
like
is a relationship or connection between people or things. So Nexus, I mean, it's I have the Nexus between Marvel and Star Wars, or when I was going to school, I did a research paper in my history class, and I highlighted the Nexus between the teachers and the students. Okay,
is he making up stuff?
So pretty much what this word is, nexus. I really cannot see what this word means for this word. So it's like I can't see what else it means in here. But what it says here, that this is how you can use it in context. Darian Tucker, a field supervisor with Arizona Game and Fish, said that the last known fatal bear attack in Arizona happened in 2011 in the Pine Top area, further adding to the extremely uncommon nature of the attack, stating that it seemed predatory in nature. We didn't see any obvious attractants. The location and the surrounding residents looked pretty tidy. Tucker told reporters, however, typically 9 times out of 10, when we have wildlife-human conflict, there is some nexus to food. And there you guys have it. That is your word of the day, and that is the word of the day is nexus. Well, you guys, I gotta get out of here. I need to go back up to my cloud and look upon my children. So enjoy your day.
The only complaint I have about it that it wasn't 15 minutes longer.
Well, that's funny.
We didn't get to the language of origin. I need more.
What's so funny is, I've been dying to give him his own segment because the guy is gold when you know him, and we couldn't land on it, and he finally struggled, and I was like, okay, this is perfect. Just next time a little bit shorter, and I'm good.
He told a 10-minute story about a bear attack in Arizona, and I still have no idea why he said it.
And he used the word nexus at the end.
I thought he was saying next the whole time, just mispronouncing it. I have no idea what that was. That was the beauty of it. That was amazing.
I got lost after.
So did Remy, don't worry.
Lord Remy, we love you. All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody. Why don't you give the old Black Lincoln Collective podcast a listen? We're funny, we're fat, and we're here 24/7 at blcpodcast.com. Anytime you want to listen, anywhere, all your favorite podcast apps. Of course, we have a YouTube channel where you can stream live with the show. Check out our shorts. We're funnier the less you hear of us. That's been a Black Lincoln Collective podcast at blcpodcast.com.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Psst. Hey, you want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit join our clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Recently voted top 3 in Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Best Local Podcast. Super exciting.
Where's our live studio audience for that?
Right? It's not working tonight, Nick. Don't rub salt in the wounds.
I'll clap.
There you go. As always, we're broadcasting live in the Sandpiper Vacation Studios, the very spacious Sandpiper Vacation Studios. So we're always excited about that.
Only the best space for you.
Yes, the best space. Nick was really funny. It was a weird text exchange. He texted me and he goes, "Hey, Scott, I've got some wide open space. Do you want to fill it?" And he goes, "Also, we could call the podcast studio the Sandpiper Vacation Studios."
and then Adoption Connections reached out, and here we are.
All right, so we kind of talked a little bit. We brushed the surface of multi-level marketing or pyramid schemes, if you will. So I'm assuming that we have all been approached for a multi-level marketing business. Chris, we'll start. The entrepreneur. Let's start with you.
Yeah, I've had 3 or 4 that I've actually started myself. Nothing ever really panned out. No, you know what? I was never. The thing about these multi-level things is, I would get offended by them, but not by the actual scheme itself. It's like I would be talking to a friend, like, "Oh, so and so reached out to me from high school asking if I wanted to, buy meat from him, like this, And like I was insulted.
Nick's like, have him call me, I'll buy his meat.
I was more insulted that I wasn't asked. So I would then reach out to these people and just ask how their life's been and see if I could kind of initiate a conversation about maybe being introduced to their pyramid scheme. And then, of course,
you just wanted to talk about their meat, Chris.
Well, that was half of it. But the other half was I love sitting through all these demonstrations, just blue balling these people because that's what they deserve. They deserve coming out to my house, doing a PowerPoint demonstration on sausage links, and then getting blue balled. I'm actually an active still to this day. This was 6 years ago. I'm an active subscriber to Hillshire Farms, best in meat products. The friend that sold to me is now in jail, but the subscription keeps coming, so the business is alive and well. Great meat.
Too bad I'm not doing Scott summaries tonight because you've been blue balling Nick for weeks. Yeah. And
all this talk about, I didn't realize there was a pyramid scheme for sausage. Now I'm like, crap, why am I not in this? Or why is it not in me?
I have a plug, Nick.
I'll set you up with his distributor.
Perfect. My contact.
Sarah, multi-level marketing. Talk to us.
See, I'm a disappointment. I try and stay away from that stuff. I mean, like, I think about it, all the clothes, all the makeup, I mean, everything. And I try not, it's addicting. It is once you start, and then it fades away, right? They come in like what? Avon, back in the day.
Avon,
I used to have those catalogs, and I would just I'd see it and I'd circle it and I'd have to have it and I'd get it, and I have a collection of all this stuff. It's another thing to collect. And now, all that money.
What's interesting, Sarah, is you're really into discounts, and you could have gotten a significant discount had you started your own Avon business. Okay, you sell the products, then you get yours at an extreme discount.
And no, see, I was too young for that. If I'd thought that way, maybe. But I grew up in a household that was full of Tupperware and Pampered Chef, like we talked about, and what else? Longa Burger baskets. Have you ever heard of those?
So Longaberger is actually based near me. The Basket building is about 20 minutes from my house.
Really?
Their home office was literally in the shape of a basket.
Yeah, my mom has so many of them still, and she won't let us touch them because they'll be worth something one day.
Someday.
I wonder where I get that from.
Nick, multi-level marketing schemes.
Too many, unfortunately. So I've probably joined 3 now, I think, in my life. One was the most recent one. My cousin was like a higher up director or whatever, but she sold jewelry, and it was these like, they had men's bracelets.
What's it called?
It was called Keep Collective.
Never mind. I thought we were blood brothers for a second.
Okay. I think they went out of business now, but basically it was custom jewelry. So they're bracelets with like little charms that you can like custom name with, like, I had one that had Piper's name and Harper's name and their birth dates and stuff on it. So, I joined it. I didn't last very long with it.
I don't last very long, but different thing.
Another topic. The very first one I ever joined, funny enough, was actually a travel agency.
It was a Ponzi scheme travel agency?
So there's tons of them out there. So
I'm interested.
This was,
and if you want to join a Ponzi scheme
contact
travel agency, www.sandpipervacations.com. Just tell them that the New Friends podcast sent you.
And if you join today, it's
you get a free t-shirt.
So yeah, I was probably early 20s, and I was working one of my odd promotional jobs where I worked in a pet store promoting dog food. And this older lady was in there working for another company. She was promoting another dog food company, became friends with her. She was like 70, 80s, and I'm in my 20s, and she fell in love with me. But she introduced me to this online travel agency that basically all you had to do is sign up with them, and you get a website that basically people just go to your website and can book a vacation through your link. So it wasn't really, I feel. And every time they had a conference call, you'd hop on, and there's like 100,000 people on this call, and like the owners of the company are like, "Oh, we're in Jamaica right now, and like this luxurious and amazing place that we work from year round, and you can be here too if you keep selling more and more." So it was a joke. Didn't last long. I don't even think I sold anything with that.
Wow.
That's funny. So you get a link. So it's like when you have Cash App, it's like send this link to your friend for $5. They sign up, but it's for travel agency. It's like, I want to go to Turks and Caicos. Oh, wait, hold on. Use my link. Use my link.
Yeah. And it was like, and you can make more money if you had a friend sign up to become a travel agent too, and this and that. And it's just,
of course.
Yeah, so
that sounds horrible, Nick. Do you still have any contacts there? I would love to. I mean, I would hate to.
So you're basically paying money and you don't get anything.
If you want to make any money, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. Click on that Fiverr link, and just click on the link that says "Become an Affiliate," and you too can make money with your own private Fiverr link. Also, if you want jingles for your podcast or someone to write a paper, Fiverr, nonewfriendspodcast.com. Use our Fiverr link. I signed up 5 people to be Fiverr affiliates. I haven't made any money off of them yet.
Is that a Ponzi scheme? You know what though? All right, we'll cut this. Alex, cut this. But what if we started a pyramid scheme through No New Friends? We should reach out to Bubba Job, and he could be the chief.
He could be the spokesperson.
Yeah, he could be the spokesperson. Yeah. Wait, this is
one that calls everybody.
Vote for us for Orlando Weekly, right? And in exchange.
Yep. And if you, here's what it is. Did you always want to have your very own segment on a podcast? Okay. Just visit nonewfriendspodcast.com, click on the Join Our Clubhouse, and it's only $2 a month, and you too can have your very own segment on a podcast.
I think it's a great idea. I see it's a foolproof problem. Nothing could go wrong with this.
Nothing could go wrong at all. Okay, so I have joined several. First of all, I was brought up in an Amway household. Okay, the Amway is probably the longest running pyramid scheme or multi-level marketing company
Amway
out there.
Isn't there an Amway Center?
Yeah, it's where the Orlando Magic play.
They made it that far. Good for them. See, we could be that. It could be the No New Friends arena.
DeVos.
So Rich DeVos, the founder of Amway, owns he's dead now, but his family,
rest
the
in
DeVos
peace.
family, owns the Orlando Magic.
Wow.
So yeah,
so that
they
could
made
be
it
us.
pretty
So
big.
we're all laughing, but pyramid schemes work.
We
do need a
founders.
fall guy. So cut this, Alex. But maybe we'll do Alex. Maybe Alex will be the fall guy.
I love that idea. I love everything about that idea. So we went to all the functions. There was family reunion that we went to every year. So it was like our upline Diamond would have this huge family reunion. And so we're there with all of his downline and like, go get him. If you believe it, you can achieve it, blah, blah, blah. And, rah, rah. And I was like, I can't wait to start Amway. My dad's like, you got to wait till you're 18. I'm like, this is BS. And my dad made a little bit of money. We had a little bit of a downline, but I was ready to join Amway when I turned 18, and didn't. So then I got approached.
I was ready to join Amway. You're talking to like it's the military. Like I was ready. I turned 18. I'm ready to join. I'm ready to
I was so excited.
Amway.
Well, because they own the Orlando Magic. So I'm like, it's a legit business. Like, come on. Chris, it started as a soap company. So like when people talk about Amway, they make soap jokes. It was a door-to-door soap business. Oh, wow. And now you can buy anything through Amway. I mean, they got food. They've got everything on Amway.
See, I've never heard of it. I'm looking it up, and it's like vitamins and skincare.
Yeah, it was soap and then vitamins. Those are their like huge products, but they literally have. I mean, my dad had a book the size of the phone book that he could order from because there was no websites back there. So you phoned in your order. So I get approached. This guy that worked for me at SeaWorld, he was like the laziest MFer ever, and I remember yelling at him 3 times to sweep up a popcorn spill, and he never did. So one day I see on MySpace that he's reached this the level of Emerald in his multi-level marketing business. I'm like, wait a second, Emerald's kind of a big deal. I should reach out to him. I'm like, hey man, tell me about what you're doing. So he was in this thing called Monavie. Monavie was this fruit-based juice that like its main ingredient was the acai berry, and it was supposed to cure arthritis, and it was really good for your health. You got all these antioxidants, and a 2-ounce serving was equal to like 26 fruits and vegetables per day or whatever. It was like this intense thing. So I joined that, and they're like, you only have to tell 2 people. And then help them get 2 people, and then help them get 2 people. And I'm like, well, it's not a pyramid scheme. And my upline kept saying, a pyramid scheme, that's like your job. Your job is a pyramid scheme. You've got one person at the top, and then they've got 2 people, and then they each have 2 people. Your job is a pyramid scheme. And do you know what job stands for? Just over broke. Oh, so you don't want to be just over broke for the rest of your life. So I'm like, yeah. So we had house meetings at my house every Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night we had a house meeting, and I got really good at hosting these house meetings. There was this video, this Momentum. It was called Momentum. It was this super exciting video where you've got all these the big wigs, the black diamonds. They're driving their black Mercedes and taking trips and all that. I'm like, I can do that because I believe it. I can achieve it. Damn it. So everyone's like, dude, it's a pyramid scheme. And I'm like, it's not a pyramid scheme. I'm like, it's nothing like Amway. You only have to get 2 people, and they get 2 people, and they're like, oh yeah, draw it on the board. So I'm drawing it on the dry erase board, and they're like, well, draw the line. I was like, oh, it's a pyramid.
It's literally a gym in the office.
Yes, exactly.
As Classic Ryan just posted, it's literally that.
Literally. But one of our sales pitch was, and this is when this is before Donald Trump was running for president. He just had a hit television show called The Apprentice. He would quote, he goes, if I had to do it all over again, if I was broke and I had to start all over again, I would start in a multi-level marketing business, because that's the way to go. Because if you think about it, we're all multi-level marketers. We're all network marketers. Okay, you see a great movie and you go tell 2 friends about it. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, go see this movie. And then they're making money off of you. You're not making any money, but
And this is how they get you to sign up.
This is exactly how they get you to sign up.
What do you sell me now?
Nick, I'm just regurgitating all the information that I've retained from all these open meetings. So then the group that I'm in with Montevi, like our upline Dime was like, I'm not satisfied with how much money everybody's making. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. You're disappointed. It's like, no. We're going to jump ship. But we're going to do this very strategic where we just bring in a bunch of people and then we're going to just place these people on the pyramid. And then you're going to, and then we'll hit the button and then everybody pays their entrance fee and we all get paid. I'm like, okay, great. What do we do when we run out of people? What happens to that bottom level? That's the downfall of the pyramid. The pyramid eventually collapses. So we jump ship and we go from Montevi to USANA. USANA, I don't know, a vitamin company, didn't make a cent, didn't ever get the products, whatever. Then I did this like healthy coffee company. It's called Ghana Coffee.
It's like that instant coffee stuff, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what it does.
I have a closet full of that. I got hooked too.
I have done It Works, which is the skinny wrap things.
Yeah.
I've done that.
I guess that didn't work, huh?
No.
Maybe you should double up.
I did Avon. I did Avon for a little bit, and it was. I did Avon on 2 different occasions, and they're like, it's really funny. Like we always love when men want to get involved because it's mostly a woman company. They're like, but men really see it as a business, and they're like, all gung ho and all that. I still owe them money in collections, but Alex cut that. And then the last one that I did was this penny stock thing where you put in like $10 and every day it's compounding upon itself. Okay. So it gets like 0.01% interest every day and it keeps growing, but you have to send invites out to people every single day. And so I would scour everything for I looked like Sarah would next to a wishing fountain. I am picking up change everywhere because I'm broke at the time. I don't have extra money to put in. But every time I found $10 worth of change, I would deposit it and upload it and put in $10 more. That way my bank would continue to grow. So I got up to about $100, and every day I would check it. I was like, okay, where am I at? Because once you got to a certain dollar amount of compounding income, it would increase by $1 a day. And that's when it got exciting, when it would increase by $1 a day and then $1.01 and then $1.02 because it was all percentage. Then one day I couldn't log in. And I was like, what's going on? And it was like a complete illegal Ponzi scheme that they shut down. I mean, people put like $10,000 in. I mean,
that's just dumb. Like they deserve to lose everything.
Right.
There's no mercy for those people. I'm sorry.
No. So that's my experience with the multi-level marketing. I still think I think it's a good way to market things. I mean, we tell all the people all the time, tell 2 people to listen to us, and then they tell 2 people or whatever. But you can't give people the promise that, hey, you're going to have all this financial freedom, because it just doesn't work that way. You have to have a very large network of people already.
It's like the ones that I liken for are like the Pampered Chefs, the like Tupperware type things, where it was something like a product that might not make it big in a store anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you get companies like Prime America that sells life insurance or whatever.
Yes.
Like one of my old managers got into that now, and she's like so gung ho and like positive energy. And I don't know,
legal.
She might be.
I forgot about prepaid legal.
I'm like, I don't want somebody to talk to me about life insurance that doesn't know anything about that at all. Like,
right. That would be like Chris trying to sell us life insurance.
Well, I just actually had an encounter with that. Funny you should mention. I got so my mortgage company already sold my mortgage to another mortgage company. So
yes, it happens.
Right. So I get
very common.
I get a green index card thickness thing in the mail saying, such and such mortgage company, this is your lender, such as mortgage company, you have to call us. So of course I didn't. And then a pink one came in the mail, and I thought I was getting fired. Finally. I was like, finally, years of trying to fire myself has finally worked. Someone figured it out. And it's the same damn company saying that my lender, such and such mortgage company, you call us now. So I call this company. I'm like, oh, so you're interested in mortgage insurance and life insurance? And I was like, I said, I'm calling you because you told me to call you. Like it like you literally said on the postcard, call us now. This is time sensitive. And then like it turns out that so I had made an appointment for it would have been yesterday. And then I got 3 more of those letters from different companies in the mail, and I realized, oh my gosh, it's like one of those things where they can, I guess it's public information for some reason, like what mortgage company you have, and all these life insurance companies are reaching out to me. And I said to Amway, I was like, oh, do you think we need life insurance? So she was like, we've had life insurance since I started my job last year. Oh, okay, so I guess not. So I blocked that guy's number. And
the extended life insurance.
The extended life insurance, yeah.
I say if she was smart, she might get some more on you after all the issues you've been having lately.
Maybe that's why I'm getting all these letters.
The way, yeah.
Oh man.
So I have one more that I can talk about real quick.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So, well, I guess so. Talking about multi-level marketing, I work in the travel industry. There is quite a few multi-level marketing travel agencies out there. And all the Facebook groups I'm in with other travel agents, we tear them down because all they do is promote like you can become a travel agent, no training required, no travel required. And I'm like, I strive myself as a small business owner to make sure my travel agents are people that have traveled. They've been to Disney in the past 5 to 10 years because it's changed so much. So when you are looking out there, if you don't want to work with us for some reason, if you're homophobic and don't want to work with Sandpiper Vacations, then do your research and make sure you are finding a legit travel agent that's is knowledgeable, has been there, understands it. So.
Well, Nick, the people that aren't going to use your travel agency because they're homophobic, they did their own research. Okay, so they know how to research just fine. All right, are you guys ready for Travels and Tribulations?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right, every week, the sophisticated gentleman is, all over the place. He's trying to get rid of the Amish by finding the Holy Grail. So let's find out what's going on with sophisticated gentleman today.
Hey, thanks for bringing that giant boulder here. You can move it in the corner over there. Oh, nice. Thanks for bringing me the whip. That'll be really in handy for this segment. I think that an Indiana Jones segment at this library is going to be fantastic for looking for the next part of the Holy Grail. What the heck is this? No New Friends is recording a day early this week? There's no way we can get this segment done in time. Crap. All right. Throw the Indiana Jones thing out the window. Somebody get the theme song playing. So, what notes do I have written down for other segments? All I've got written down is Roast Scott. Crap, hold off on the theme song.
What shall it bring when the gentleman rings on travels and tribulations?
Crap, we're on. Hey, No New Friends crew. Hi, sophisticated Batman here. I'm in front of a library. Apparently, my map showed me that I can move a book to get to a passageway leading to that special object that I'm looking for. Wow, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I was going to kill an Amish guy here in this library, but the Amish isn't here yet. I'm going to have to steal some ideas. Welcome back to Remy's Roundtable, the most original theme park show you will ever listen to. And in our next segment, we're going to play our favorite game. And in our first story, a man decided to take Wednesday off, meaning that I had no idea how to record this segment. And in our second story, another man stated that I had used a quote comparing him to an elephant when that was in fact the other Ryan. The early onset dementia is really showing, Scott.
Niels wants to know.
Yeah, I just want to know who thought it was a good idea to record Remy saying a racial slur on Twitch. I'd also like to know why Chris asked me if I have a big ol' wiener while we were hanging out at the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
Or nerdy quote of the week.
I actually have a great quote that demonstrates my feelings about Chris right now. It takes place in a church. It's Brock, sir. Edward Brock Jr. I come before you today, humbled and humiliated, to ask you for one thing. I want you to kill Peter Parker.
Quick fire, quick facts. Let's go.
Yeah, so I wanted to address the fact that last week Mary said that Achilles was a Greek god. Achilles was, in fact, not a Greek god. He was just a Greek warrior dipped in the river Styx as a baby. Questioning this makes me also question what other things Mary's claimed to know in medical school that haven't actually been true. From there, I started to wonder whether Mary actually lied to get the president position that she has now, and then I realized that everything that we've got going on with the former leader right now is just a reflection of some things that may or may not be happening in Florida right now. I'm kind of all out of ideas, so I'm just going to guess some of the things you talked about in segment 1. I'm guessing that Chris talked about his Achilles and how sad it was laying in bed all day, even though he doesn't work anyway, so I'm not sure what kind of a difference that was. There's only a 50% chance that Mary's here tonight, so I'm not going to make any predictions about her. Scott probably made a joke that he thought was really funny and nobody else thought was really funny. He probably said that really weird "oh" at one point during the episode, made his "oh" face. There's a real good chance that Sarah had a fantastic one-liner and it was the best part of the segment that you just listened to. Well, this was a rough segment. Hopefully next week actually records on the day that we thought was going to be recorded on. And then maybe I'll actually get to start searching for that special object I was talking about. Why does Scott kind of remind me of the live-action Cat in the Hat?
Bravo, sophisticated gentlemen. By far,
amazing.
Your best work. So, little backstory.
And it's probably good that he didn't know that I was going to be on.
A little backstory. I'm listening to Remy's Roundtable, and at the very end, he now has his own version of Cliff Notes, and I lost my mind. So, sophisticated gentlemen, bravo, great job. When we come back, we've got Jersey Man, Florida Man. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF as in No New Friends and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. It's been a good time tonight. You guys missed a really funny joke on the break. If you don't want to miss out on the jokes, just join our Patreon for as low as $2 per month. You can watch us record all of these episodes live. You can watch what we record with celebrity interviews, ask some questions. It's a hoot. Plus, there's so many amazing Clubhouse members that will keep you laughing from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep. They're so funny, and we now are all lifelong friends. And we try to get together when anybody's in town or whatnot. So join our Patreon. You could buy a friend too. That's nonewfriendspodcast.com. Click on the Join Our Clubhouse link. Are you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yeah, I think we changed the Join Our Clubhouse to Join Our Pyramid Scheme.
Yeah, join our join our multi-level marketing business, because if you help us to become very successful podcasters, we'll share some of the income. That's the good marketing scheme right there. All right, here we go. Jersey Man, Florida Man.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us two news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to determine which one is which. Take it away, Game Master Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom, located this week on the road. Scott apparently forgot to take his old man pills and wandered off yesterday. His wife just called me and asked me if I'd help join the search. I really should have seen this coming after he forgot to plug cases of continuity a few weeks ago, and he's been slipping ever since. We asked Chris to help. He couldn't because of his bum ankle, and he hasn't showered in 2 weeks. That second part has nothing to do with his ankle. He just never showers. Sarah can't help because it's her day off, and she's higher than a giraffe's. That reminds me, we need to search the zoo for Scott. I need to stop by and see if Mary can help. She's at her open house. Well, looks like they put her on directing traffic after she talked too much about Victoria giving birth and dead babies. Anyways, we started our search at his normal hangout places. First was the park near his house. But all the kids were carelessly playing without any worries, so he couldn't have been there. Then we went to the dog park. People said he was there, but they chased him off like normal. Maybe he doesn't know what year it is. Maybe he still thinks it's the 60s and he went back to his high school. I think we need to search there.
Wow.
Well, we looked in the janitor's closet and under the bleachers and in the dugouts, and all we found was Mary's daughter. Don't worry, Mary. She was alone and reading her Bible like a good teenager. Well, Remy just called and said that he thought that Scott might have been at his house last night.
This morning when I woke up, I'm like, why does my butt hurt so much?
Well, at least that's a lead. Well, Remy's lead was a bust, so we're back at Rachel's place. Scott's been missing for a full 24 hours now. Rachel's already talking about remarrying. Wait, could that be? Oh my god, it's Scott. He found his way home. While we find out where the hell Scott's been this whole time, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. And for our first story, a boss leaves mounds of feces around for his employees to clean up. And for our second story, a man is arrested after posing as a veterinarian and operating on a pregnant dog.
All right, Nick, what do you think? You've got feces boss and pregnant dog operation.
I mean, I feel like feces definitely sounds like something that you would do, Scott, so I'm going to say Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll go with veterinary New Jersey.
All right, Sarah?
I'm going to go with the first one being Jersey and the vet being Florida because I would normally go the opposite and I always fail at this game. So we're going to try it the opposite way.
Chris, what do you think?
Nick said the feces thing is something Scott would do. I think Scott convincing someone that he's a professional so we could be one-on-one in a private room with a dog would be something Scott would do. So I'm going to go New Jersey feces. I think that's an alpha move. I think someone in New Jersey would definitely do that.
So I'm going to say Jersey feces because it does sound like a very Jerseyan move.
It's also easy to find up here.
There's feces everywhere. But the real reason why I'm going to go with the veterinarian Florida is doesn't that sound like something Mary would do, but in the medical profession? So I'm thinking maybe Mary.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out the answer.
So our first story is from New Jersey, where an analyst working for Mercer County filed a lawsuit after he faced racial discrimination and at times hazardous working environment after his boss would leave piles of feces around for him to clean up. This guy's more messed up than Sarah's wisdom teeth. So that means our second story is from Florida, where a 61-year-old dog groomer poses as a veterinarian and operates on a pregnant dog that later passes away.
Oh,
I think that even Mary's more medically qualified to operate on that dog. And in other news, a man saves a paralyzed woman's life after she drives her wheelchair into a pond and almost drowns. I think this is a glimpse into the future of how Chris will probably die in the next week. Women's man jump into a pond to save a chubby, smelly hipster that's wearing Toms. Anyways, that's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
That was really good. That was really, really good. Thank you very much. All right, so this week was first day of school. Actually, last week, and we talked a little bit about the orientation, all that. So there's a lot of anxiety around my house. My daughter, because she's first day of middle school, she's in a new school district. And she's changing. It's middle school, so she's changing classes for the first time. So a lot of anxiety. So first day of school, also first time ever riding a bus. She's always been a car rider, so she's never ridden a bus to school. Oh, so anxiety.
Bus is the best. Bus is the
yeah,
best.
well, that's what we told her too. So a lot of anxiety there. So first day of school, both Rachel and I take off. We walk her to the bus stop, and we're gonna just hang there until the bus comes. So the perfect thing for some people who have anxiety about the first day of school and riding a bus for the first time, the best therapy for that is just the bus never shows up. Bus never shows up, so now we don't even have to ride the bus. No big deal. But like any good Florida parent, I let the school deal with that anxiety on the back end, because the bus definitely picked them up from school, so they can deal with the anxiety of the bus picking them up. But yeah, there's a school bus shortage in Florida, because why not? It's Florida. And we get a call, hey, your buses may be a little bit late. Just have a little patience with us. Well, a little late. The bus was supposed to come at 8:58 a.m. By 9:17, still no bus. And we've got parents going, okay, I can take 4, I can take 6, I can take 5. I magically had room for 20. It was weird. Nobody wanted to ride with me, which was also weird. But I was wearing my fedora and a Hawaiian shirt, so that may have had something to do with it. I don't know. Anyway. Sarah, you've got kids.
I say I'm dealing with the opposite, because we start school, or Piper starts school on Thursday, so it's her first time riding the bus, and I feel like I'm more anxious about everything.
Yeah, I was more anxious this morning, because this morning was the first day that neither Rachel nor I were here. When she was going to the bus. I mean, I made sure that she was awake before I left for work, but bless her heart, she texted me, hey, I'm headed to the bus stop. Hey, I'm at the bus stop. Hey, I'm on the bus. Hey, I'm being dropped off at school. Because she cured my anxiety. She's a sweetheart. I love that kid.
Yeah, I don't have that privilege because she's 5 and will not be texting me. But
right.
Yeah, and it's like there's apps now for the buses too, so it's like so much.
Really?
What I'm learning about back to school is like everything has changed since we've been in school. And everything we use in school we don't use in real life. So I can't remember the last time you used sine, cosine, tangent, but
right. But yeah, I love the math teachers that are like, you're not going to have a calculator with you everywhere you go. Okay.
Right. Sure, Jan. Yeah, it's like, so there's a bus app, and like everybody, I remember seeing last year there was a bus shortage as well too here, and I remember seeing on Facebook pages like everybody was saying the buses were like 20 minutes late, some were like an hour late and everything. So, and then the apps aren't working too. So I have like so much anxiety about that. I'm like, and our bus comes at 7:30 in the morning. Oof. I don't wake up until 9 myself, so I don't know how this is going to work.
So
welcome to school.
The girls actually go to school 35 minutes away from where we live, which is 10 minutes away from their moms, but 35 minutes away from us. So we're up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oof.
When we take them to school. We're out of the house by 6:45. to get to school, like through the line, and drop them off at 7:30.
Kudos to you for getting 2 girls ready in 45 minutes.
Oh, they don't have a choice. Their lunch boxes are okay. Yeah, he's shaking.
Mas or menos.
I get a little frustrated with our oldest because she does not want to wake up. She's full teenager right now. Our youngest, she's fine. She's totally cool. She pops out of bed. She's like, hey, good morning. I'm ready. She brushes her teeth, brushes her hair, knows exactly what she's going to wear. This morning, I'm telling our oldest, like, and Lewis says it too, like, can you have a sense of urgency? Because you have been awake for 45 minutes.
Spoken like a true restaurant manager.
Yeah.
Can you have a sense of urgency?
Absolutely. I had to tell her today. We did more school shopping, and she's very slowly doing everything in the fitting room. I'm like, can you use two hands for the love of God? Like, just focus, please. But yeah,
kids love to move in slow motion.
Yes, they do. But yeah, we don't have the anxiety of school buses. Not at least for our days.
Well, lucky you. All right, Chris, you got any Cliff Notes for us?
Well, first of all, being a person who owns a school bus company, love the school bus shortage because it's a great excuse when we don't come on time. Sorry, school bus shortage. You saw the news. But yes, I do have some Cliff Notes. I think I have 3 pages tonight.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day. Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Scott started off the podcast with, quote, news that would make us super happy, end quote. I was hoping you were saying this is the last episode of the podcast, but we were nominated for the Best of Orlando, so I guess we have to do at least a few more. Just a few more.
Did Mary write that joke?
She texted it in. Yeah, she doesn't watch. Scott then talked about how he was invited to a page that finds their real parents after they were adopted. Now, the punchline of this is that Scott was making us believe that women had sex with him.
Son of a bitch.
He talked about a swingers group that he joined. I also joined a swingers group like Scott did. Mine was just accepting Nick as a friend on Facebook. Scott said he accepted an invite from the Illuminati Facebook group. He immediately left the group, though, when he realized he couldn't afford the admission to get in. I'm not talking about money. They asked for a soul. They wanted a soul.
Sometimes I don't.
Remy's segment came up in that segment. That was super funny. The funniest part was him making us believe that he went to school. On to segment 2, Scott started the segment with a gay joke, which went right over my head. It went in and around Nick's mouth. The sophisticated gentleman talked about how he had a giant boulder and a whip at his filming location. Turns out he was in a library. I thought he was just at Scott's house. Giant boulder with a whip. In Florida Man versus Jersey Man, Ryan said he never saw Scott coming. Now, to be fair, neither has his wife.
Oh.
Wow.
Scott talked about how the first day of school, the bus never came. He said in typical Florida fashion, he let the school take care of the back end. Nick, I didn't know your nickname was the school. And lastly, Scott grew up always wanting to join Amway, but learned the dangers of pyramid schemes. And I'm so glad that he's learned from that because they're super illegal. They should not be joined. And for legal reasons, we here at the No New Friends podcast do not condone these schemes. They're funny to laugh at, but please do not join them. On another note, if you're hearing this, please tell 2 friends to listen to our podcast and encourage them to tell 2 friends as well. And those are my Cliff Notes.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day. Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Thank you, Chris. That was amazing as always.
You know what, Scott?
Yes.
I want you guys to move out of the way because I got a joke.
Okay.
I got a Cliff Notes ad.
All right.
So move, I'm gay.
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
So Chris keeps talking about owning a business. Chris, Using a grocery cart full of recycled cans is not a business. And thank you, Ryan, for that. Thank you, Ryan, for that.
That was really funny.
Just trying to find a way to throw it in there.
Oh my gosh.
Usually Nick's icing on my cake is a little different. The icing on the cake this week was pretty funny.
He's got the jokes. He's good looking and a big schlong. You know, he's a trifecta.
Hey, this is Alex from Diz His, along with
Chris from the No New. Wait, what is this an ad for?
This is an ad for Diz His on No New Friends.
Oh my gosh, I'm so out of place. So yeah, we're on a Disney podcast, right, Alex?
Yeah, you and me now. We're doing a Disney podcast, Disney history, every week on Tuesdays. It drops. Social media is Diz His Pod.
Yeah, if you ever need cleansing of the obscurities that you hear on this show, check us out on Diz His podcast, where we do something way more innocent.
And if you love Alex's segment, which is me, my history segment, then you'll love our full episode of Disney history.
Yeah, if you want a big load of Alex, listen to the Diz His podcast. You're going to love it. A little bit of me, a lot of Alex. It's like half and half, but a lot of Alex. A lot of Alex.
Whoa. There's a lot of you too. You also give up a big load yourself.
That's fair.
Chris, what do you got coming up on Diz His?
You know, I usually start this segment with, before I get started, I would like to shout out Nick from Sandpiper Vacations, but the topic this week reminded me of Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. So first, I just want to talk about how great Nick from Sandpiper is. I talked about how last week, I don't know if you guys know, but I did tear my Achilles tendon.
Oh my God.
And
shocker.
Nick was able to get me a shower bench, which is very uncomfortable. First of all, very uncomfortable to sit on. Horrible. I'm showering currently with a chair, and it is not fun to sit naked on a chair. I feel bad. Like Nick's talking about how much
Nick has a book that'll show you 50 ways that it is fun to shower on a chair.
We'll save that for after dark.
So guys, please, I just urge you to please reach out to Nick, especially if you tore your Achilles tendon right before your vacation. I seriously, in all seriousness, I get seriously injured weeks before my vacation. Nick makes it that much more comfortable because I was literally at the shower on my knees before Nick swooped in and was like, "Hey, as long as you send me pictures, I'll give you a chair."
Nick also has another book, 50 Things You Can Do on Your Knees while in the shower.
So, Nick is on here tonight. So special shout out to you, Nick. What was once a very, very exciting vacation has turned into a super stressful one. And Nick from Sandpiper Vacations has helped ease that stress just a little bit, by just being super accommodating, reaching out, getting me information on how the hell I'm supposed to cruise while handicapped. So if you're interested in booking a vacation through Nick, go to sandpipervacations.com. Tell him the No New Friends podcast sent you. Now, I did say I usually start this off with, before I get started, I'd like to shout out Nick from Sandpiper. But this week, I have no idea why, but the topic reminded me so much of Nick. This week, we're doing the history on Jim Cummings.
I don't see the resemblance.
Okay, and who is?
I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's the name.
Who is
voice.
Mr. Cummings? Jim Cummings. Who's Jim Cummings?
Winnie the Pooh. And usually when I talk about Cummings and Pooh, it's totally something different. But this week we're talking about the legendary voice actor Jim Cummings, who voices Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, among he has over 400 different roles. He's an amazing guy. Not a Disney legend because there are rumors that he abused his wife physically. So not sure if that's true or not.
What's higher than legend? That's a terrible joke. Cut that out.
Was that a joke? I didn't know how to respond.
That was awful.
On that note, please tune into the Diz His podcast to hear the history on Jim Cummings. Do not how to follow up that comment that Scott just gave.
I'm going to be on Diz His next week.
You are. You're going to fill in for me.
I'm going to fill in for you, and we are doing the history of push the trash can.
The funniest thing about that is Alex didn't understand. I was like, Scott said you're going to do so many episodes on Disney that one day you're going to do push the trash can. And when he told me you were going to push the trash can, that was really funny.
Well, I always say that. So, but what's really exciting is if it were, he's already committed to it, but the guy who used to operate Push the Trash Can is coming on with me.
That's super awesome. And you know what's funny is I was very flattered when I heard Push the Trash Can, because that's actually my nickname on the Royal Caribbean cruise when some of my wheelchairs just push the trash can.
You can connect with Diz His on all social media. That's Diz His Pod. You can also check out our second episode of the week. It's NNF After Dark every Wednesday, where we peel back the onion of life because it's not always pretty. And there's some other amazing podcasts that Sophisticated Gentleman referenced in his segment tonight. We've got Don't Wreck Yourself, where Ryan takes on the things that are wrecking the internet and kind of debunks them. We've got Ashes to Awesome, which is Chuck LaFlange will bring you through his rise of addiction and into recovery. We also have the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. That's the Sophisticated Gentleman's favorite podcast. And then finally, the last one that I like to talk about is Cases of Continuity, the Sophisticated Gentleman's very own podcast, where he's going to be talking about Bond for the next, I don't know, there's like 30 Bond movies, so about 30 weeks of Bond. But it's super interesting. He finds some really, really fun facts and things that I didn't know about. And also, if you're in the younger crowd, please listen. Right now, he's real popular with the 60 and up. So help him out. Let's pull that demographic down just a little bit. Chris, what podcast do you recommend?
Yeah, first of all, I saw how many 60 and older, like you said, was listening to the podcast. Scott, how many devices do you listen to this podcast on?
About 50.
First of all, I'd like to shout out Studio 21, the baseball podcast. My Phillies are doing pretty damn good right now. If you want to hear about how good they're doing, listen to the podcast. If you don't like baseball, probably not the podcast for you. But if you do, I don't know what you're doing if you're not listening. Second, I would like to shout out the Podfather himself, who is featured in one of our segments tonight, Remy from Remy's Roundtable, the Florida Theme Park Podcast. Talks about Florida, talks about theme parks. If you like both those things, it's the podcast for you. And lastly, I would like to shout out Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, who's got a wonderful YouTube channel. I binge watched all of his videos again for the second time because I was don't know if you guys heard this, but I did tear my Achilles tendon, so I'm bedridden. I was bedridden, so I watched a lot of Big Beautiful Diz on YouTube. So check him out if you like all things Disney and a theme park.
I fell down a Dane rabbit hole this week, and I was watching a bunch of his videos.
They're strangely addicting.
They are. There's a really cool one about the very first attraction at Walt Disney World, and it was the Preview Center.
Yeah, watch that 6 times.
Yeah, super interesting. Sarah, what does Lewis have coming up on Nerd Archive?
Actually, Nick and I were both on this week, so you'll get to see both of us on there. We talked about traveling, of course, and talked a lot about Disney, our favorite theme parks, movies. Yeah, check it out.
Very cool. Awesome. Nick, do you have any podcasts that you'd like to recommend?
Yeah, so we actually had him on the After Dark episode a couple weeks ago, or last week, I believe, Nola Papa. So my friend Eric is a gay dad and a blogger and an author. Super amazing guy, very awesome personality. So his podcast is called Nola Papa.
Awesome. And Mary's not here. Even if she was here, she'd have no idea what's happening on a Mental Health Moment. So here to tell you about Mental Health Moment, here is Dane.
Hey, it's Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, and because I know more about Mary's father than she does, let's talk about episode 2 of A Mental Health Moment with Dr. Ed Samaro, Managing Anxiety. So in this episode, questions are answered from listeners, and Dr. Samaro talks about good and bad anxiety and tips for managing anxiety. And listen, I had a lot of anxiety about recording this segment. I'm just an anxious guy. But this helped. The tips that he's talked about just absolutely helped. And Mary, you probably have a lot of anxiety because you don't listen to your dad's podcast. He also talks about ways to support the show, like subscribing and sending in comments. Mary, why don't you talk to your dad for once? Anyway, I'm gonna go crawl back into the hole that I've been living in for the past couple of days because I'm stuck in Scott's basement. The other segment I was in for Ryan wasn't a joke. Please help me.
Oh boy, thank you, Dane. Everybody's got jokes now. Check out all of those amazing podcasts. They're all great friends of the show, and please support them. You can connect with us on all social media at nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links are right there. Check out our really sweet merchandise. Join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits. You can watch us record. Also, we stream live on Twitch every Wednesday night around 8 p.m. That's www.twitch.tv/NNF podcast. On behalf of Dane, the Sophisticated Gentleman, Game Master Ryan, our Lord and Savior Remy, our producer Alex, Nick, Sarah, Chris, Mary, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye, Felicia.
Okay, bye.